Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to this new series. This is Pointless History, where I tell you useless bullshit that's supposed to fire your imagination. I don't think that's the lyrics. I think the lyrics is useless information that's supposed to fire your imagination. Well, in relation to the lyrics from I Can't Get No Satisfaction, this is what this video is about. It is about the Satisfaction guitar by DEVO. Now, many of you know DEVO. Much better. Many of you know DEVO as the 80s pop band that made the hit song Whip It, but they also did some other stuff like Uncontrollable Urge, Freedom of Choice, Girl You Want, Gates of Steel, Gut Feeling, and a bunch of others. But they also did some covers such as Are You Experienced, Don't Be Cruel, It Takes a Worried Man, and their most famous cover of I Can't Get No Satisfaction, originally by the Rolling Stones. But what I became interested in with DEVO was this guitar that they used. But to go back to how I figured out about this cover that they did, let's start back to when I was on Facebook one day.
I first discovered this cover from a video shared on Facebook of DEVO performing on Saturday Night Live in 1978, and on there, they played Satisfaction. They had the yellow radiation suits on with the Velcro belts and the stick-on letters that spelled out DEVO. Along with the jerky animatronic movements and the out-of-this-world singing, it blew my mind. And since then, I've been a fan. I afterwards discovered the music video and loved it, but noticed some differences. In the music video and album version, he just strums the untuned loose strings on the guitar. In the live performances, Mark plays the original Rolling Stones Satisfaction riff, then goes into his melody of the untuned loose strings. It's more or less a tribute to the original song. The second thing I noticed was the guitars he used. In the music video, he used a white Fender Telecaster hooked up to an Electro Harmonix frequency analyzer that was duct taped to the bottom of the guitar. On their SNL performance, Mark used a red Hagstrom 1 guitar that Bob Casale lent to him, with an orange Ibanez overdrive, a frog ring modulator, and an unknown pedal. He eventually changed up the setup by getting rid of the unknown pedal, replacing the orange overdrive with a green Ibanez overdrive 2, and keeping the ring modulator. In a show in 1978 in Paris, Mark had a new guitar that I'm not sure of. From the looks of it, it almost resembles a half-cut Gibson Firebird with the green overdrive and the ring modulator. Afterwards, Mark used another Telecaster with those pedals. Eventually, he got rid of the ring modulator and stuck with the overdrive pedal. The only reason he used the ring modulator was for the song Too Much Paranoias, specifically for this part. Now, since we're on the topic of other songs with this guitar, Mark also performed another song called Penetration in the Centerfold with it at Max's Kansas City in 1977. Remember that unknown pedal from their SNL performance? Well, Mark brought that back in 1980 for a minute. After 1980, DEVO didn't play their Satisfaction cover for a while, except for an encore in 1982, but it's unsure what guitar Mark used for that one. Skip ahead 6 years later in 1988 when DEVO was on tour again for their album Total DEVO. They started playing their Satisfaction cover again regularly, and Mark had a new guitar this time. It was a Gibson L6S lent either from Bob 1 or Bob 2. Mark had a Boss DS1 distortion pedal duct taped to this guitar. He then replaced it with a Boss DS2 turbo distortion pedal. Remember that frequency analyzer? Mark brought that back for a minute in 1989, having it duct taped to the bottom of the Gibson guitar. After 1991, Devo went on hiatus and didn't perform again until the winter of 1996 at the Sundance Film Festival. There, they performed classic Devo songs, as well as their Satisfaction cover and Too Much Paranoias for the first time in almost 20 years. The guitar Mark used for this performance was a white Fender Stratocaster with a DoD Super Distortion pedal, the frog ring modulator again, and another unknown pedal. Later on that year, Devo performed at Lollapalooza. This time for their Satisfaction cover, Mark had a black left-handed Fender Squier Stratocaster with the Boss DS2 Turbo Distortion pedal attached to it. This pedal eventually was duct taped to the guitar along with the frog ring modulator. For over 20 years now, Mark used that guitar for any time they performed their Satisfaction cover as well as Too Much Paranoias. However, there was a performance in Japan of 2003 where Mark had a different guitar for their Satisfaction performance. It was another Fender Stratocaster that was right-handed and all black, with a Boss DS1 pedal duct taped to it. Now there were some changes to this guitar. They eventually stopped duct taping the pedals to the guitar and started velcroing them. They replaced the turbo distortion with a regular distortion pedal, and a little trivia, Mark makes his own guitar picks from cutting out old gift cards, credit cards, and room keys, and he makes them look like a spud. Last year at Burger Boogaloo, Devo performed for the first time in over 2 years, along with their fellow Devo fan, friend, comedian, and drummer Fred Armisen. They again performed their Satisfaction cover, but this time Mark brought back the frequency analyzer and had it foil taped at the bottom of the guitar. But from the looks of it, it wasn't hooked up since it ran off AC power, so the sound was coming straight from the distortion pedal.
So that's the history of the Satisfaction guitar. Now I want to show you guys something really cool that I did this previous summer. I made my own Satisfaction guitar. It's identical to the one that Mark Mothersbaugh uses, except his is a left-handed Stratocaster and mine's a right-handed off-brand Stratocaster. It's not a Fender. This is it's by a company called TMZ. I just covered up the label with foil tape. But it's exactly, identical to the other one. Well, not exactly, but it's pretty identical, I should say. I have the Boss DS1 distortion pedal over here taped over so I can get to the battery easier and press the button a hell of a lot easier. Yep, there it goes. And then over here, because I couldn't find that frog ring modulator that they use, I found a gonculator by DoD, and it's a ring modulator mixed with a distortion pedal. So I have double the distortion and ring modulator. But before this ring modulator, I had a different pedal on here, and it had 11 features on it. It's just a regular digital modulator made by this company called Cool Music. I just put that tape on there and label because it looked a lot better that way. It has 11 features. It has dyna-filter, wah, detune, chorus, vibrato, tremolo, flanger, tremolo flanger, phaser, rotary, and ring. I have it set on detune right now. I don't know why. The only problem with this one is that it was only going to be able to run off of AC power and not a 9-volt battery. This one, however, runs off 9-volt battery, so it worked out. Now to show you off the sound that I can make out of it, just get my cutout guitar pick of a Van sneaker from like a $25 off coupon or something I had, but I missed the cutoff date or whatever it was. Also to show off, this has the 4 strings just like my Mark has on his. I might have not mentioned it before, I can't really remember. I have 2 strings here that are tuned to unison A. It's probably better if I do that this way. Like that, and then these are just really loose. Yeah, that's a little loud. I did mention before, there is another song that they use this guitar for, and it's for Too Much Paranoias, and I have to set it up in the right way. I should have mentioned before how Mark actually plays Too Much Paranoias, because it's really, really weird. Because it does this weird noise every time he plays it. What he does is he presses up on this part right here, and he kind of just moves it down. It just sounds like this. Like that. It sounds really cool, but then he starts playing it like... and then kicks in with the ring modulator. So like that. And also the way I have these attached, the pedals I'm talking about, Velcro, just like what they did, or are doing. So I hope you enjoyed this video if you're a Hardcore DEVO fan, and if not, I hope you enjoyed it in general. Thanks for watching, everybody.